You don't need to think more. You need to stop. Right now. Because the problem is not that your mind is active. The problem is that it never pauses. One thought appears, and you follow it. Then another, and another, until you are no longer thinking. You are drowning. In possibilities. In assumptions. In things that haven't even happened. Marcus Aurelius saw this clearly. He wrote to himself, "Do not disturb yourself by imagining your whole life at once." But that is exactly what overthinking does. It takes one small moment and turns it into an entire future. A future that feels real, urgent, dangerous, even when nothing has actually happened. This is why you feel exhausted. Not because life is too heavy, but because your mind never stops running. And here is the truth most people never learn. You don't need to solve every thought. You need to interrupt it. And in this video, you are going to learn exactly how to do that. Not slowly, not eventually, but immediately. Because control does not come from thinking better. It comes from knowing when to stop. You tell yourself you'll stop thinking. Just a minute. Just one more thought. Just one more explanation. And then, you'll feel better. But you don't. Because it never ends at one thought. It becomes 2. Then 5. Then a loop you can't get out of. You start with something small. A message that feels off. A look that didn't feel right. A moment that didn't go the way you expected. And your mind grabs it. Not gently. Aggressively. What does this mean? Did I do something wrong? What if this turns into something worse? And just like that, you're gone. Not physically, but mentally. You are no longer in the moment. You are inside your head. Building scenarios. Replaying conversations. Rewriting outcomes. Trying to control something that already happened. Or hasn't even happened yet. And the worst part? It feels productive. It feels like you are figuring something out. Like you are being careful. Like you are protecting yourself. But you're not. You're feeding the loop. Because your mind does not think once. It thinks in chains. One thought pulls another. And another. And another. Until the original moment is gone. But the thinking is still there. And now it's bigger. Heavier. Harder to stop. This is why overthinking feels like losing control. Because by the time you notice it, you're already deep inside it. You're not choosing the thoughts anymore. They're choosing you. And the more you try to solve them, the stronger they become. You replay the same situation, looking for a different answer, a better explanation, a sense of certainty. But you never find it. Because there is nothing to find. There is no final answer waiting at the end of overthinking. Only more thinking, more doubt, more noise. And slowly, you start to feel it in your body. Your chest tightens. Your breathing changes. Your energy drops. And now it's not just in your head. It's everywhere. This is why you feel exhausted. Not because you did too much, but because your mind never stopped doing anything. It just kept going. Without rest. Without pause. Without control. And here is the part most people don't want to admit. You are not stuck because your mind is too strong. You are stuck because you never learned how to stop it. You were never taught how to interrupt it. So you keep doing what feels natural. You follow the thought. You analyze it. You try to finish it. But thinking does not finish thinking. It extends it. It multiplies it. It traps you deeper inside it. And this is the moment you need to see clearly. The problem is not your thoughts. It is that you never stop at the first one. You always go further. You always continue. You always follow. And that is exactly where control is lost. Because the first thought is automatic. But everything after that is a choice. And if you don't see that difference, you will stay trapped in the same loop. Again. And again. And again. So the real question is not, how do I stop thinking? The real question is, how do I stop continuing the thought? Because that is where everything changes. And that is exactly what Marcus Aurelius mastered. Marcus Aurelius did not try to control every thought. He knew that was impossible. Instead, he focused on one thing: the moment right after the first thought appears. Because that moment is where control actually exists. The first thought comes automatically. You don't choose it. It appears instantly, without permission. A doubt, a fear, an assumption. That part is not your fault. But what happens next is, because the moment the first thought appears, there is a small gap. A very small one. So small that most people don't even notice it. And in that gap, you have a choice. You can continue the thought, or you can stop. But most people never see that moment. They don't pause. They don't question. They don't interrupt. They follow immediately. And that is where the trap begins. Because the second thought is different. It is not automatic. It is engagement. It is you saying, "Let me think about this. Let me analyze this. Let me figure this out." And once you do that, you are no longer observing the thought. You are inside it, building it, feeding it, expanding it. And from there, it grows on its own. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to catch that exact moment. Not after 5 minutes. Not after the anxiety builds. But instantly. The moment the first thought appears. He did not fight it. He did not suppress it. He simply refused to continue it. He would see the thought, and not add anything to it. No story. No meaning. No extra layer. Just the thought, and nothing more. And without that second step, the thought had no power. It appeared, and then it passed. This is the difference most people never understand. They think control means no thoughts. But real control is no continuation. You are allowed to have thoughts. You are not required to follow them. And once you understand that, everything becomes simpler. Because now you don't need to fix your mind. You don't need to stop thinking completely. You only need to do one thing. Catch the second thought, and refuse it. Again, and again, and again, until it becomes natural. Because control is not about stopping the mind. It is about stopping yourself from going further than necessary. And once you learn that, you realize something powerful. You don't need to win against your thoughts. You just need to stop helping them grow. And that is where your freedom begins. You don't need a long method. You don't need a complex system. You need something that works in the exact moment the thought appears. So here it is. 3 steps. Fast, simple, and brutal. Step 1. Catch it. Not later. Not after it grows. Right when it appears. That first moment when something feels off. A sentence in your head. A sudden doubt. A small emotional shift. That is your signal. If you miss that moment, you lose control. So you train yourself to notice faster. Not perfectly. Just faster than before. Step 2. Cut it. Immediately. No discussion. No negotiation. No, let me think about this. You don't argue with the thought. You don't try to solve it. You stop it. Right there. Like cutting a wire before it sparks. Because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. So you cut early. Every time. Step 3. Return. Not to the thought. To reality. Your breath. Your body. What you are doing right now. Something real. Something present. Because thoughts live in imagination. But control lives in the present. So you come back. Again. And again. And again. That's it. No complexity. No philosophy. Just catch. Cut. Return. And at first, it will feel unnatural. Your mind will fight you. It will say, "This is important. You need to think about this. You can't just ignore it." But that is exactly why you must stop. Because not every thought deserves your attention. And not every thought deserves your time. Marcus Aurelius did not sit and debate every idea in his head. He decided which ones were worth continuing. And most of them were not. So he stopped them early, before they became something bigger, before they turned into suffering. And that is the key. You don't wait until overthinking is out of control. You stop it while it's still small, because once it grows, it feels real. But before it grows, it is just a thought. And that is the only moment you truly have power. So don't wait. Don't analyze. Don't continue. Catch it. Cut it. Return. And do it again. Every time your mind tries to pull you in. Because control is not about one big decision. It is about many small interruptions. Done fast. Done early. Done consistently. One interruption is not enough. Because overthinking is not a one-time event. It happens all day. In small moments. Quiet moments. Moments you don't even notice. So if you want control, you need repetition. Not once. Not occasionally. But multiple times a day. Marcus Aurelius did not train his mind once in the morning and expect it to stay calm. He trained it throughout the day. Again. And again. And again. So here is the system. Not complicated. Not time-consuming. But extremely effective. You aim for 5 to 10 interruptions per day. That's it. Not perfect. Not exact. Just consistent. Every time you notice a thought pulling you in, you interrupt it. Catch. Cut. Return. Even if it feels small. Especially if it feels small. Because small thoughts become big ones when you let them continue. So you don't wait for anxiety. You don't wait for stress. You interrupt early. A random doubt? Stop. A sudden assumption? Stop. A replay in your head? Stop. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to understand it. You just don't continue it. And you move on. That is one repetition. Now do it again later. And again. And again. Through your day. In between tasks. In conversations. In silence. In moments where your mind starts drifting. Each interruption is small. But together, they change how your mind behaves. Because your mind learns from repetition. If you keep following thoughts, it learns to continue. If you keep interrupting them, it learns to stop. And over time, something shifts. The gap becomes clearer. You notice faster. You react less. You recover quicker. And what used to take 5 minutes now takes 5 seconds. What used to spiral now fades. Not because your mind is weaker, but because your control is stronger. This is how you train your mind in real life. Not by escaping thinking, but by interrupting it before it grows. And here is something important. You will fail sometimes. You will get pulled in. You will lose track. That's normal. Because the goal is not perfection. The goal is reduction. Faster interruption. Shorter loops. Less time lost. So don't judge yourself. Just return. Again. And again. And again. Because every time you interrupt, you take back control. Not in theory, but in reality. And after enough repetitions, you will notice something strange. Your mind starts to slow down on its own. Thoughts still appear, but they don't last. They don't expand. They don't take over. Because you have changed the pattern. You no longer follow every thought. You filter them. You stop them. You choose them. And that is what most people never reach. Not because it's difficult, but because they never practice it enough. So keep it simple. 5 to 10 times a day. Catch. Cut. Return. That's your system. And if you stay consistent with it, your mind will follow your lead. Instead of pulling you in every direction, there is something you need to face. And you may not like it. Overthinking is not just something that happens to you. It is something you participate in. Every time you follow a thought, you are choosing it. Every time you continue a loop, you are allowing it. You say, "I can't stop thinking." But that's not true. You don't stop because you don't want to. Not consciously, but deeply. Because overthinking gives you something. It gives you the illusion of control. It makes you feel like you are doing something, solving something, preparing for something. But you're not. You're avoiding reality. Because thinking feels safer than facing. It feels easier than acting. It feels more comfortable than uncertainty. So instead of dealing with what is real, you stay inside your head, running circles, again and again, and calling it being careful, calling it being aware, calling it thinking deeply. But it's not. It's hesitation. It's fear. It's avoidance. Marcus Aurelius didn't waste time circling thoughts. He faced reality directly. Whatever was in front of him, he dealt with it. No extra story. No added meaning. No unnecessary thinking. Because he understood something most people ignore. The more you think, the less you act. The more you analyze, the less you move. And the less you move, the more your mind takes over. So overthinking becomes your escape, your hiding place, a way to delay action, a way to avoid discomfort, a way to feel in control, without actually being in control. And the longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to leave. Because now it's not just a habit. It's your default. You don't face things anymore. You think about them. You don't decide. You analyze. You don't act. You loop. And slowly, your life becomes smaller. Not because of reality, but because of hesitation. Because of delay. Because of the stories you keep creating instead of moving forward. This is the cost of overthinking. Not just stress. Not just anxiety. But lost time. Lost opportunities. Lost clarity. Because while you are inside your head, life is still moving. Without you. And here is the truth that changes everything. You don't need more thinking. You need more action. You don't need more clarity before you move. You need to move to create clarity. Because clarity does not come from thinking longer. It comes from doing. From facing. From stepping into reality, instead of circling around it. And once you understand that, overthinking loses its power. Because now you see it for what it really is. Not intelligence. Not depth. But delay. And once you stop using thinking as a shield, you stop being trapped inside it. You start moving. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it's uncertain. Even when your mind tells you to wait. Because you finally understand something simple. Thinking will never finish the problem. But action will move you forward. And that is the shift. From mind to reality. From delay to movement. From overthinking to control. But knowing this is not enough. Because if you don't change how you live every day, you will fall back into the same loop. So the question is, what does a person who no longer overthinks actually do differently? That is what we need to build next. If you stop overthinking, your life doesn't become perfect, but it becomes simpler, clearer, more direct. Because you stop doing things that keep you stuck, and you start doing things that move you forward. So what actually changes? What does a person who controls their mind do differently every day? They don't start their day in their head. They start in reality. No immediate checking. No instant reacting. They take a moment, not to think, but to be aware. How do I feel right now? What is actually in front of me? Because control starts with awareness, not analysis. Then the day begins. And this is where the real difference shows. Something happens. A message feels off. A situation is unclear. A moment doesn't go as expected. Most people react instantly. They follow the thought. They build the story. They go inside their head. But a trained mind does something else. It stops early. Not perfectly, but quickly. It catches the second thought and cuts it. No extra meaning. No added layer. No continuation. Just the situation as it is. And then they move on. Not because they don't care, but because they don't waste energy on things that aren't real. This becomes a habit, moment by moment, throughout the day. Less reaction, more presence, less story, more clarity. Then comes uncertainty. And instead of trying to solve everything in their head, they act. Small actions, simple decisions, direct responses. Because they understand something most people don't. Clarity comes after action, not before. So they don't wait to feel sure. They move and adjust as they go. And this changes everything. Because now they are not stuck in loops. They are in motion. And motion breaks overthinking. Then comes the evening, where most people escape, scroll, distract, avoid. But a trained mind reflects. Not to judge, not to overthink, but to improve. Where did I follow a thought too far? Where did I stop it early? What can I do faster tomorrow? No guilt, no pressure, just awareness. Because awareness is what creates change. And over time, this becomes your identity. You are no longer someone who reacts to everything. You are someone who chooses. You choose what thoughts to follow. You choose what to ignore. You choose when to act. And most importantly, you choose when to stop. And that is what control really is. Not controlling everything, but controlling yourself, your attention, your reaction, your direction. And when you live like this, overthinking doesn't disappear completely, but it loses its power. Because it no longer runs your life. You do. But there is one final thing you need to understand. Because even with all of this, your mind will still try to pull you back. So the goal was never perfection. It was something much simpler and much more powerful. And that is how we finish this. Your mind will not stop. It was never meant to. It will continue to produce thoughts, possibilities, questions, doubts. That is its nature. And for a long time, you believed that was the problem. That the goal was to silence it, to control every thought, to eliminate the noise. But Marcus Aurelius understood something different. The mind does not need to be silent for you to be at peace. It only needs to stop leading you. Because the problem was never the thought itself. It was your willingness to follow it, to continue it, to believe it. And once you see that clearly, something changes. You stop trying to win against your mind. And you start stepping back from it. Thoughts still appear, but they no longer pull you in. They pass, without turning into stories, without becoming problems, without exhausting you. And in that space, between the thought and your response, you find something you didn't have before. Control. Not loud, not forceful, but quiet, stable, consistent. You no longer rush to react. You no longer feel the need to solve everything immediately. You no longer turn every moment into something bigger than it is. Because you understand now, most of what your mind creates does not need your attention. And most of what you fear never needed your time. So you let it pass. Again. And again, and again, until it becomes natural, until your mind stops pulling you in every direction, and starts following your lead instead. This is what Marcus Aurelius practiced. Not perfection, not silence, but discipline. The discipline to stop, the discipline to not continue, the discipline to return to what is real. And when you live like this, something becomes very clear. You don't need to control your thoughts. You only need to stop going with them. And once you do, everything becomes lighter. Not because life is easier, but because you are no longer carrying what isn't real. And maybe that is all you ever needed. If this made you see your mind differently, subscribe. Because this is just the beginning.